For over 4 decades, one part of Graceland has remained locked, untouched, and strictly off-limits to the public. While millions of visitors have walked through Elvis Presley's iconic mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, no one, not fans, not reporters, not even most staff, has ever stepped foot into the upstairs of the house. It's a place frozen in time, holding secrets that have never been seen, heard, or spoken about publicly. That is, until now. Elvis Presley's granddaughter, Riley Keough, has stepped forward to reveal personal and emotional truths about this hidden part of the estate. What she shares doesn't just offer more insight into Elvis the star, it brings us closer to Elvis the man. Graceland wasn't always the legendary landmark it is today. Long before the pink Cadillacs and gold records, it was just a quiet 10-room house built in 1939 by a Memphis businessman. It sat on the outskirts of the city, surrounded by open fields. The design was simple, elegant, and peaceful. In 1957, when Elvis was only 22 years old and already one of the most famous people on earth, he purchased Graceland for just over $100,000. His main goal was privacy, a place where he could breathe and live away from the cameras and screaming fans. But over time, Graceland became more than just a place to rest. It turned into a mirror of Elvis's larger-than-life personality. Loud, colorful, emotional, and unpredictable, the mansion started reflecting not only who Elvis was on stage, but also who he was behind closed doors. Perhaps the most famous part of the mansion is the Jungle Room, which Elvis designed in the late 1960s. It's covered in green shag carpet, even on the ceiling, and filled with carved wooden furniture and tropical decor. Elvis didn't care about traditional styles or trends. He wanted spaces that made him feel something. The Jungle Room also became a place of work. Some of Elvis's final songs, including Moody Blue, were recorded there, turning it into a home studio. It was wild and unusual, just like Elvis himself. Behind the house is the Meditation Garden. Built in 1964, it later became the final resting place for Elvis, his parents, his grandmother, and his only daughter, Lisa Marie. Today, millions of fans visit the garden every year. It's a quiet space where people go to reflect on Elvis's life, his music, and the way he touched the world. Yet even with all that's open to visitors, from music rooms to trophy displays to his collection of custom cars, one entire section of Graceland has always been completely closed off: the second floor. The upstairs has remained locked since the day Elvis died in 1977. This wasn't a decision made by tour guides or museum staff. It was a request made by Elvis's father, Vernon Presley, and later honored by the family. To this day, the rooms upstairs haven't been cleaned, changed, or even slightly rearranged. The clock above Elvis's bed is still frozen at the time paramedics arrived. Only a handful of people have been allowed up there over the years. Mostly family members, close friends, and trusted employees. For the Presley family, the upstairs is more than a part of the house. It's a sacred space. It holds Elvis's bedroom, the bathroom where he passed away, and his personal closet, which still contains his jumpsuits and belongings. It's where Elvis lived out his final days in privacy and pain. It was his safe zone where he went to be alone with his thoughts. For Riley Keough, this space is deeply emotional. It's not just a memory, it's a connection to the grandfather she never met but has always felt close to. Now, Riley is the owner of Graceland, and although she still won't allow the public to go upstairs, she's sharing what she's seen and felt in those rooms. Her words open a rare and powerful window into Elvis's final years, something no photo or tour could ever capture. She describes the upstairs as silent and untouched, a place that feels like it's still holding its breath. One room in particular was Elvis's private study. It's small and dim, lined with wood and stacked with books. But these weren't random titles. Elvis had books on Christian teachings, numerology, and Eastern philosophy. Riley says the room felt like a place where Elvis was searching for answers. Inside, she found notebooks filled with scribbles, prayers, and half-written song lyrics. Some pages repeated the word free over and over. Others were more spiritual. It was clear Elvis was struggling with his identity, his fame, and his sense of purpose. Elvis's bedroom remains just as he left it. The silk sheets are still on the bed. His Bible sits on the nightstand, filled with handwritten notes. There are even bottles of pain medication still in place. Under the bed, Riley discovered something especially personal, a shoebox labeled "Do Not Open." Inside were letters. One was written to his daughter Lisa Marie, and another simply said, "To whoever finds this after I'm gone." These were never sent. They were probably never meant to be. But they show a raw and honest side of Elvis that fans rarely get to see. Riley confirmed that the bathroom where Elvis died is still sealed. Out of respect, she doesn't describe it in detail, only saying that it remains untouched and treated with quiet reverence. But she does speak about another hidden room, a small meditation space at the end of the upstairs hallway. It had floor cushions, a soft sound machine, and dim lighting. This room was Elvis's personal retreat. It was where he prayed, thought, and sometimes just sat in silence. For a man constantly surrounded by people, this room was one of the few places where he could truly be alone. Many fans wonder why the upstairs is still closed off. Riley explains that it was partly emotional and partly out of respect. Her mother, Lisa Marie, held a protective attachment to that part of the house. For her, it was too personal to share with the public. Now Riley sees value in telling the stories, but not opening the door. She believes some places are meant to remain private, not for mystery, but for meaning. Still, not everyone is satisfied with the official story. For years, rumors have spread about a secret tunnel beneath Graceland, an escape route Elvis might have used if he wanted to disappear. According to some former staff and unconfirmed reports, a tunnel ran from the main house to a hidden exit near the edge of the property. The idea was that Elvis, growing more paranoid and withdrawn in the 1970s, may have used it to get away from paparazzi, or even to fake his own death. The official blueprints don't show any tunnels, but they also don't include the second floor at all. That fact alone has fueled theories for decades. In 1987, one journalist claimed to have found a concrete hatch near the carport. No pictures were taken, and nothing was proven, but the story stuck. Some believe it explained the strange sightings of Elvis after 1977. The first major sighting happened just 1 year after his death. A man looking exactly like Elvis was spotted boarding a plane using the name John Burroughs, a fake name Elvis had used before. Then, in 1984, someone snapped a photo of a Graceland groundskeeper who looked exactly like an older Elvis. He wore sunglasses, had the same features, and the photo went viral. In 1994, another man matching Elvis's description was seen at a DMV in California. He paid in cash and refused to give his name. That story, like the others, was never confirmed. Some fans even point to strange errors in official documents. Elvis's middle name was legally spelled Aaron, but his gravestone spells it Aaron. They say this change was made on purpose to signal that the person buried wasn't really Elvis. Whether it was a mistake or a hidden message, no one knows for sure, but the mystery continues to spark questions. Graceland stands today as more than just a house. It's a symbol of fame, struggle, and a life that changed music forever. The locked upstairs isn't just a place. It's a time capsule. A part of Elvis's world that remains real, raw, and untouched. Riley Keough's words help us understand what that space meant to her family and what it reveals about the man behind the music. Elvis wasn't just a legend, he was human. He felt pain, confusion, faith, and fear. And those emotions are still echoing through the upstairs halls of Graceland. The rumors, the hidden letters, the strange sightings. They all show how powerful Elvis's story still is. People don't just remember him. They continue to feel connected to him, even after all these years. Whether you believe the theories or not, there's no denying one thing. Elvis Presley's presence still lives on, not only in his music, but in the silence of a closed door at the top of the stairs. If this story gave you a new perspective on Elvis, let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more stories that go beyond the spotlight, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Your support helps keep these stories alive.